I was stoned.
Breakfast is gay. Morning routine in Bali with me.
Trying to find
Get a chai bowl.
Do you know what's something that's quite amazing that I think about?
And I remember it.
I might dabble into the gayness sometimes. Yeah.
I've done cocaine once.
Yeah.
Will we go back in the future and look at it? It's like, oh, that was the time when this was happening.
When it comes across planned, I don't think that's the vibe that we want to go for, is it? We want just natural.
Right. How old are you?
I'm 21.
I'm 25. So I've got 5
Right.
years before I'm 30.
Yeah.
You've got
9. Well,
9.
8.5.
8.5. You've got some time.
Well, some time, man.
But it's going to go quite quick.
It's gonna fly by.
It doesn't feel like that long ago since I was 20.
No.
And I'm already 25.
Do you know what's something that's quite amazing that I think about?
Go on.
Is how we've acknowledged that our 20s are gonna go very quick, early on, and we are doing some cool shit.
We're still in the first half of our 20s.
First half, but we've acknowledged that, and we're doing some cool shit like this earlier on, right? Which I think is cool.
Yeah.
Right. We're doing it early. Whereas, like, you get a lot of people, they get to their 30 and they're like, oh, my 20s, I just got fucked up.
And I remember it. Yeah.
Big up Mike Thurston. He's absolute G, right? But he says he started way too late. He says it all the time, right? He says, oh, I wish I started earlier. He didn't start late. He started when he was, 28.
And he was one of the
29.
first guys as well.
Yeah, 28, 29. Now he's just turned 34 or something, some shit like that. But yeah, we've started it early game. So hopefully by our late 20s, we're in a good position, right? That'd be nice. That'd be lovely.
That'd be sick. Or at least have all the interesting podcasts that we've done to go and look back on and be like, oh, that was sick. Oh yeah, that was funny. You remember this point in our life when this was going on? And like a lot of them will talk about stuff that's like current events as well, which I think is really interesting. Because when we go back in the future and look at it, it's like, oh, that was the time when this was happening. Like what's currently happening at the moment? It's we're on the run up to the presidential election 2024, which is obviously that's taking up most of the news, isn't it? Really,
United States,
which is quite a big event. The UK is becoming a socialist country. Who knows? By the time we're 30, we could be literally either not here anymore in the UK because it's just too fucked, or not allowed to do this podcast, or have to do this podcast in secret because otherwise get arrested by the thought police.
Too many things could happen in that time. We don't know what's going to happen.
AI is going to be a big thing by then. I know.
We don't know what's going to happen, and in however many years' time, when we look back at this podcast, we would know.
And
right now we don't know.
No,
that's pretty mad, isn't it?
So before we're 30, I feel like there's certain adventures which you can do in your 20s that you're not going to be able to do in your 30s that I think we need to do.
Okay.
One, I had this idea the other day, and it was actually whilst watching Mike Thurston's podcast with Louis Armstrong, his ex-cameraman / editor. And he was saying, he was like, oh, where would you rather be? Would like to live? Would you rather be in Dubai or Bali? I think Mike's answer was Dubai, and Louis was like, nah, too expensive. I'd rather be in Bali. They said it was sick. Like I just drove around on my moped all day. Like rent was like fucking nothing. I just ran around like exploring the island and shit. That is something I want to do. I want to go to next year. I want to do a solo trip to Bali.
I think that'd be amazing for your.
Or if you want to come, we'll do it.
A duo or solo.
It's either solo or with you. I can't do it with like a girlfriend or a group. I feel like it's got to be either just me, or just me and you.
100%. I think solo trips are a necessity for you to do in your 20s. I think you need to do solo trips. But if you got your mate that you get along with amazingly and
that would
same interests, go with your mate. We'll do both. You do solo trip. I'll do solo trip at some point.
I do kind of like the idea of doing it. Like just the uncertainty. You got no one to fall back on. It's just you.
No,
It's a
and
random country.
You're almost forced to talk to people. You're forced to make friends. You're not just you and your mate. You don't have to talk to anyone else. If you're on your own, you have to put yourself in situations where you have to talk to people.
Yeah.
You can't spend the whole fucking trip just on your own.
No.
Unless that's your aim, and you want your own time, and you want to reflect upon yourself, and you could though. You could
do that. But what would be more fun would be all the crazy stories of, so I met this person, they were doing this, they said, you want to come along? And so I said yes. And then we nearly died because we did fucking whitewater rafting or some like crazy shit.
Yeah.
And like, that would just be funny, wouldn't it? And then there's this crazy Irish guy that I met and he was just drinking the whole time. Like, it'd be stories like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that's what you're going to remember. I do think in your 20s is the time to take as many holidays and trips as you can. Just get them all in there, because
do you know what the typical holiday makes me? I'm about to go on holiday.
You are.
And I can't say I'm super excited, because it's kind of quite a normal holiday.
Yeah.
It'll be nice and everything. And I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like, this is going to be
doing all inclusive?
Chaos.
What are you doing?
No, we're not doing all inclusive, which is good. I'll refuse to do all inclusive. That's too matrixy. Two combined into one hotel and one buffet, and you're paying for it, so you might as well have it. No, I want to basically have no food in the morning, so I don't have breakfast, because that just wastes that. Breakfast wastes your time. Breakfast is gay.
Breakfast
don't need
gay
breakfast.
I like breakfast. Trying to bulk, bro. I'm eating breakfast all the time, trying to fucking.
I like breakfast. So. I do like breakfast, but you don't necessarily need breakfast. It's not the most important meal of the day. It's the one meal of the day you can just forget and be fine.
I might dabble into the gayness sometimes then, if breakfast is gay. You know what I mean? Might have.
So what you're saying is you're bi if
I'm bi if breakfast is gay. Then I'm bi. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So we've got a car, which is good, so we can go exploring and stuff. But it's not necessarily like a solo trip where there's nothing really that I'm scared of on this trip. It's going to be quite normal and quite nice.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be dangerous.
Plus, when you go with your girlfriend,
you go with your girlfriend, you don't want
chaotic.
Yeah, you don't want chaotic and dangerous, do you?
No.
If it was me and you, it's like, let's fucking go.
With your girl, you want nice, pleasant, sweet, relaxing food, all that fucking shit, which is great.
Which is nice, but it's not
the same, is it?
It's not that's not what excites me in my soul. Do you know what I mean? Like, me and you going to Finland was fucking exciting. I was like, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to be there. We don't know how it's going to play out.
Coolest thing ever. Sickest thing.
Whereas this trip to Bali, either solo or just me and you, it would just be like winging it, staying in some like hostel with some other people, and just like seeing what happens. That's one of the ideas I want to do before I'm 30.
We gotta get it done, man. We really gotta get it done. It's money though, isn't it? Everyone can relate to this. It's just everything's about money. Everything.
Well, that's why Bali is a good choice, because I looked at it. It's like,
but the tickets to get there, it's
500
expensive.
quid.
But once you're there, it's cheap.
500 quid return.
That's return. That's quite good. What time of year was that?
I remember I was looking at random times.
Yeah, usually sometimes Bali can get ridiculous. It's like over $1,000 for return. It's like, wow.
But to stay in a hotel is
so cheap.
Like, you're talking like 100 quid for 3 weeks.
I know in a previous episode I kind of roasted people for going Bali and said, people that are trying to find themselves, I hate them kind of people. But that's the people that I'd be around. And
we'd be sat there like after the podcast goes super viral, and they're like,
here you are. Oh, look at you in Bali. You know what I mean? Sorry. But no, but it's the whole point of the podcast.
But we would do crazy shit if we
would do.
It wouldn't be like
necessarily
morning routine in Bali with me.
Trying to find myself.
Get a chai bowl.
Can't lie, get a few little chai bowls.
Vegan yogurt? What the fuck is even
vegan fuck yogurt? Vegan shit.
What's vegan yogurt? What is vegan yogurt? That's another question I've got.
Got to be spunk, really, isn't it? It's got to be something.
That can't be vegan.
It's got to be.
It's just like some mashed up fucking mushrooms or some shit.
I don't know what it is, but I ain't trying to find out. I'm not trying to find out.
No, let's leave that. All right, have you got anything else you want to do before you're 30? Do you feel like you have to do before you're 30? So no, a lot of stuff you could do when you're 30. It was a cool title for the
video. yeah. And there's something about your 20s, isn't it? You get all these oldies saying, "Oh, 20s are the best time of my life. My 20s, best time of my life." So your 20s are cool. They are cool.
Do you think we're supposed to live like we're in our 20s all the time, like forever?
No.
Or do you think it's a societal pressure that pushes people out of their 20s?
Bit of both. I think that can get really complicated because when you're older, when you're like 35, you don't want to be acting like you're a 20 because that's cringy as fuck. You want to be, you want to be mature. You want to be wise. You want to be a little bit,
You want to be, because in the 20s you can kind of do dumb shit and get away with it.
Whereas you can't do that
if you're 35
like
and doing dumb shit.
What's his fucking name? What's the geezer that's in IB for all the time?
Wayne Lineker.
Wayne Lineker. If you're doing shit like that, do you know what I mean?
Weird, there's something weird about it.
I don't know how old he is, but I know he's old enough. Do you know what I mean? To not be still in IB for his fucking, in his. There's a difference between. I know we keep talking about fucking Mike Thurston like we want to suck him off, but like. There's a difference between doing the shit that Mike Thurston. I know he's not as old as Wayne Lineker, but Mike Thurston, and then there's Wayne Lineker. Do you know what I mean? Mike Thurston's the 34. Don't know how old Wayne Lineker is, but
50s. 60s.
There's a big difference between the two. I think probably because Mike Thurston just attends these IB for whatever's and he has laugh and he has fun, whereas Wayne Lineker sets them up and he does the whole. But there's just something not attractive, right, about the shit that Wayne Lineker puts on and his image.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a personal. I think it is a personal opinion, and it's a personal opinion completely. Yeah. What do you think?
I think you're right. I know what you mean because we automatically look at him and go, "What's he doing?"
It's a bit odd.
Yeah. What's he doing?
It's a bit odd.
Whereas when you look at someone like Mike Thurston, who's still in his when he was in his late 20s, sort of 30, and he was going IB with the Harrison twins, and they were fucking about. It was kind of like, well, yeah, they are 30-year-old geezers in incredible shape, running around IB for having a laugh. It's like that made sense. It makes sense.
It does make sense, and I think we're gonna get to that age and realize. Well, I know that age isn't old. That's another pet peeve of mine when people go like,
"Wait till you hit 30."
Well, people are they say that it's like wait till you hit 30.
Oh, your back goes and your knee goes and you can't run and blah. It's like
probably because you didn't take care of yourself in your 20s.
Yeah, because you ate fucking Twinkies through your 20s.
yeah,
you garbage fat shit. And fucking soy caramel lattes rather than fucking Americanos and cappuccinos
and cappuccinos, bro.
Cappuccini bros.
Cappuccini bros. There you go. Cappuccinos with the bros.
Yeah, cappuccinos with the bros. You were fucking soy latte with caramel syrup in with the girls.
Let's go do some girly shit. Remember that? Yeah. No, it's true though. So I think in your 20s, trips. Loads of trips. As many as you can.
I've just thought of something. I don't know if I even necessarily agree with this point myself. However, I feel like it is a good point. In your 20s, try the drugs you want to try.
Oh, God.
Because when you're in your 30s, you shouldn't be fucking smashing lines of cocaine.
That took a turn.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's like, I want to try cocaine, should I do it in my 20s or should I do it in my 30s? Or should I do once in my 20s and then never touch it again? That's what I've done. I've done cocaine once. Yes. And I fucking hated it. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did it. I just did it because for a laugh, to be fair, because I thought, fuck it. And then there was a line there in front of me. They're like, bro, do you want to have some?
All right.
And I was like, I'm never going to get another opportunity of this because I don't really hang out with any druggy people. I was like, oh, go on then. I'll do a line. So I did a little line and it was horrible. I hated the experience. I'm never doing it again. But I'm happy I've done it because I'm like, I never have to touch cocaine again.
There you go.
Because imagine I'm 80 and I'm like, I wonder what cocaine was like. Because knowing that Churchill was doing it in the war and Hitler was doing it.
Hitler was off fucking.
They're all doing it.
kinds of
I'd be like, I
shit.
wonder what it was actually like. I'd be like, oh, I don't have the chance to try it now. Whereas I know that I did it when I was 21, 22. And it was horrible. I hated it, and I never want to do it again. And I can understand why they were doing it in the war. However, if you're trying to relax, it's the fucking worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I did that in my 20s, and I never have to do it again.
Exactly, you've experienced that, and yeah, I think it's good for you because you did it once and you realised, yeah, I'm not doing that again. But for a lot of young people, they do it in their 20s and they get hooked on it.
I can argue why it's shit because I've done it.
Yeah.
I go, it's fucking
Yeah,
shit.
and I think a lot of young people get forced into peer pressure and they do it once. And even it's like smoking, you know, the first time you try a cigarette, no one enjoys it. Come on. And you keep doing it, whether it's yourself, peer pressuring yourself into it, or whatever it is, your mates. It becomes a social norm in your group, or you see your older sibling doing it, and eventually you become to like it because you force yourself into it. It's the same with drugs, right? You do it once or twice, you might really enjoy the experience, depending on what drug you have. You might hate it, but you might keep doing it, and that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to keep doing it, right?
No, that's the thing. I've only got one more drug I want to try in my 20s.
DMT.
I would like to try that actually as well.
Really want to try DMT.
But I want to try shrooms, mushrooms.
DMT, yeah.
Mushrooms would be an interesting one.
Especially that's more of a psychedelic experience.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
Than doing pills in a fucking.
I'd love to sit like somewhere like this and just do mushrooms and just like sit there and try and see what comes into my head whilst I'm in nature. That would be interesting.
Ever told you know my friend Morgan?
Yes.
You met Morgan.
Yeah.
Shout out Morgan. Love you.
Big up Morgan.
We went to. I was working in Rhodes. He worked there before in a previous year.
Big up Rhodes.
And I met Morgan there, and he's an absolute sweetheart. And we had an absolute G moment, didn't we? We sat on a little beach bar. On a little beautiful. We sat there, all three of us, having a cigar, yeah. And we talked some deep shit, didn't we? Some deep shit we talked about.
One of my favourite memories.
I think about it all the time. And why was I talking about this?
I don't know. Something to do with
Give
drugs?
me a minute.
I was talking about mushrooms, and then you started talking about. Morgan.
Thank you. Mushrooms. Morgan did mushrooms when he went to Thailand, and he rented out a villa with his mates and had a pool. I think I'm telling this correctly. And he sat in the pool, in the shallow end of the pool, with his legs crossed, did mushrooms, sitting there amongst somewhere in Thailand in the pool, and he just sat there. He said he sat there for something like 2 hours with his eyes closed, and he just had some psychedelic mental experience. And after it, he wasn't the same person, and he's like, because he showed me videos of what he was like in his younger years. I say younger years. I don't know how old he is. 20. He's only 20. He's your age, I think, 25.
He's like a year younger than me.
A few years ago, before he did that, I don't know if I'm telling false information here. How I remember he told the story was after he did that experience, it kind of changed him for the better, and he weren't that young and crazy, fucking getting rowdy, going out, doing all sorts, raving, clubbing and stuff. And he did this psychedelic experience, and he's a different guy now. That's how I remember him telling it. And yeah, man, what a beautiful experience to have. I want to have something like that.
You see, I feel like it could really change you and like just forever, like make you so. Would it make you a better person or a worse person? That's the scary thing, because what if you have a bad trip and it makes you like paranoid or more nervous or more afraid? I don't think that's ever really. I've never really heard of anything like that happening. It depends if you're in a good setting with good people and you've been in a good mood basically the whole day. Do some shrooms that just elevates all of that.
You've got to be in a good state of mind.
So that's the plan. Is I want to get some mushrooms. Come somewhere like here, like a woods or somewhere beautiful, and just sit with no distractions and do shrooms and just see what happens. Just sit here like this.
I want to be in an environment where I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think I could do it like here. I know I've got to get home somehow, and I'm in a random fucking park in the UK. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to do it.
To be fair, we could walk from my house to here.
You could walk. But
and then walk back.
like Morgan did it, I want to do it in a. He didn't have to leave. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
If he was having a bad time, he could have took himself to bed. Like he's
Where
in a
did they
house.
get the shrooms from in Thailand?
I think everywhere does them. Thailand.
They just do it.
I think they sell them. Like I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but I think it's very easy to get shit like that in Thailand.
Should we tell the story of when me and you smoked that spliff we bought from the shop?
Oh, in Rhodes. Yeah.
And we thought it was just going to be like CBD.
Yeah. So
It wasn't CBD.
in Rhodes and places like Spain, you see these little fucking weed shops, right?
But the thing is, a lot of them are like zero THC, just CBD. So it's like CBD that you can smoke to like get the effects of CBD, like the calming, relaxing effects, anxiety effects of CBD, without having the THC that gets you high.
Yeah.
So I thought that's what that probably was. And what did it say on it? I can't remember what the fuck it said. It didn't even say THC. It said something else. It said like HCC, something like that.
Know.
And I was like,
all we know is there was a selection, and I think one of them, for the one we picked, had a Buddha on it, and it was like, oh, Buddha, calm, all that. We picked that one. The rest of them were things like called Gorilla Glue and fucking all these wild things and fucking things that you look at and you're like, oh, don't know if I want to fucking try that.
Don't want to mess with that.
We picked with the Buddhas, and bro, it sent us into
we saw the Buddha.
We saw Buddhas, bro. Amazingly, we also went into an aquarium.
So that's the reason why we did it, because we thought it'd be funny to go into an aquarium high. But I didn't think it was going to get us high. I was convinced we are not getting stoned off this.
No.
We're just going to do this. It'll be like pointless, and then we'll just go into the aquarium like normal.
I was high in the aquarium, but I was the highest. It had the most effect on me afterwards when we laid on the beach. I was stoned.
But the thing is, I don't think I've ever felt like that off weed. I don't know what we smoked, mate, but it was
I don't know
strong.
enough. I'm not an advocate weed smoke. I haven't smoked weed. That was the last time I did anything like that.
It's the last time I smoked weed.
Before that, I didn't do it for about a year either. So I've been weed clean for a while now, a couple of years, and that minus that time. But I don't know if you want to class that as weed because it didn't.
I don't know what it was.
Whatever it was. I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying. I don't know enough to say, oh, it was this, and this is the reason. I'm not a fucking stoner. Do you know what I mean? But Jesus Christ,
we were fucking.
My body was like aching. My body was heavy. Laying on that beach trying to get up, I was like, I couldn't get myself up.
Don't know what that was. I'm happy we did it.
It relaxed my body into a different fucking dimension. And then that evening, we were planning on doing stuff. We were like, no. That evening, we cancelled all plans and we just sat indoors, didn't we? We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Went to bed.
Kind of wasted the evening, really.
We wasted the evening, yeah. We were just too blitzed out of
But that is the sort of thing that I feel like your 20s is for.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if we were 35 and we did that. You'd be like, who are these 35-year-old idiots?
Yeah.
Doing that. Whereas when you're 20, in your 20s, it's like, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
You can get away with it.
Agreed. Man. Fucking awesome. Glad I did that.
Just like little spontaneous, crazy ideas. That's what your 20s is for. Like us making this podcast. It was like, we just do a podcast. Yeah, let's do a podcast. And then just go for it.
The key is to not think about it too much, right? Like we thought about the podcast a reasonable amount because we want to think about what kind of vibe we want to portray and stuff, right? But the whole idea of getting started, you don't want to deep it. You just want to get started.
Do it.
You don't want to think, oh, I need this camera and I need this tripod, I need these things then before.
Otherwise, I can't do it.
So just try with your budget, like we have budget the shit out of it. Eventually, we'll get new chairs. Eventually, we'll get new tripod, camera. But right now works perfectly fine, minus the tripod that we broke earlier.
Yeah,
but it's standing for the moment, so
yeah,
that's what it is, man.
Anything else crazy?
Anything else that you want to do? Yeah, what else? Do in your 30s. And not your 30s, your 20s.
Have a fight. Have a professional fight.
Have a professional fight.
In something, yeah. That's something to do in your 20s. I think in your 30s, you want to start getting away from getting your head kicked.
Yeah.
In your 20s, you're most powerful.
Do a charity boxing match.
You can take the damage and recover.
Breed. You wanna experience that?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Have you got a plan for like things you want to happen in your 30s?
Not
Like what?
particularly, bro.
Like I'm thinking. I haven't really got any specific plans, but I was really thinking about it the other day. I feel like I want to, in my 30s, between 30 and 40 is where I want to officially not be living at home. I think I'm given, because at first I was thinking, oh, what if I turn 26, 27, I'm still living at home? But I'm like, well, also, what's the point of me moving out? I'm basically living alone anyway.
Mm.
It's mostly just me in the house on my own. So it's like 30, I think, is when I want to actually officially be away from that. Kids at some point in 30s, I think.
Well, we've spoken a few times about moving in together, haven't we?
Yeah.
That opportunity arises.
Oh
You've
yeah, that's
got
good.
to do it, bro. 30 or not 30, Jesus, it would be
At 30 wouldn't work, would it?
no,
That's got to
no.
be in our 20s
It's
as
got to
well.
be in your 20s. That would be an experience.
That'd be sick. That would just be like gym every day.
We'd have gym equipment in the apartment.
We'd be setting ourselves up good for
We'd
our
have
30s.
good food in the fridge, gym equipment. We'd have a whiteboard on the fucking wall. Wake up in the morning, write your thoughts on the whiteboard. You do this today, do this today. We have days off. If our schedule aligned, we had days off. We do this today.
We could up the amount of podcast
Gym
episodes
together.
we
We could up the podcasts. If we had a balcony, because they still want to keep with the whole outside theme. If we had a balcony with a half decent view. Film on the balcony. I was speaking about this with my mate the other day. Just renting out Airbnbs with like nice views. He went to Dubai and he went with his mate, rented out an Airbnb. And it wasn't that much, for Dubai.
For Dubai?
For Dubai, he showed me everything, the prices, the Airbnb he went to. This view, Max, was crazy. He was looking over the marina, all the lights, the buildings, crazy. He went for 10 days, and I think the Airbnb, him and his mate, it was like 300 and something quid each. This Airbnb for 10 days, which is insane.
That is insane.
Insane for Dubai. And if you had that balcony with that view for 10 days, you'd film. I would do 5 podcasts a day. Jesus, man, you'd have to rinse it. You have to rinse it. So,
should we do it next year?
we have to.
We do some shit like that next
trips
year
together, man, because we keep speaking about this, and
because it's cool coming to the woods and everything. But imagine we go like somewhere sick. We have like a sick time, and all the podcast. We do like several podcast episodes after every day, and say, today we did this. It's fucking mad. Here's what we learned from it. We do it next year.
That's the goal. There you go. Things to do in your 20s.